Hey, what's up? This is Lala, and you're listening to Women Crush Wednesdays with Torae on Hip Hop Nation.
Hip Hop Nation, it is your tour guide Torae on a Woman Crush Wednesday, and you know how it goes down each and every week. Somebody coming through crazy. When I say crush today, we talking about somebody that's crushing this whole entertainment industry from television to, I mean, what don't Lala do? She's a best-selling author now. She's a mom. You know what I'm saying? She's a wife. She does so much. The lovely Lala Anthony is joining the tour today. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Everything is good. Good to see you.
You too, always.
Congratulations on this new book.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The Power Playbook.
The Power Playbook in stores now.
Right now. What? Let's talk about the book. Let's set it off right here. What made you decide to do this book, and what is it really about?
You know, for me, I wrote the first book, The Love Playbook, which is about love and relationships and, you know, finding love and loving yourself. And I just found out how many similarities there are between love and power and success. So I was like, you know, why not write a book about my journey starting from nothing? I started with nothing and building my career, you know, brick by brick. It's not like I was born into this or I was born into money or anything like that, and just had to work really hard to kind of grind my way to where I'm at now. So I thought by telling my story, I could inspire other people out there who feel like they don't have any hope. They're stuck in a job they hate. You know, they'll never be able to pursue, you know, their goals and their dreams. And so far in the first day of the book coming out, the feedback has been so positive. It's a quick read. People are like, yo, I read the book in like 30, 45 minutes. I'm like,
pictures? I need pictures.
No pictures. The pictures on the front and on the back.
I need a pop-up book. You know,
right.
Juvenile. So when you go into the mindset of writing a book like this and you're talking about power, what inspired that, like, to make you want to write something like this? And then what is power to you?
See, for me, power, I don't equate power with like money or cars or clothes or anything. True power to me is loving yourself, having confidence in yourself, having high self-esteem. You know, some of the people I know who have the most materialistic things are the most miserable, you know, in the world. So that's not power to me. Power is loving yourself. And for us women, power is loving ourselves and not letting a man like control us and dictate us, which as I'm out here talking to young women, you hear so much about that. Like, I didn't do this because my boyfriend didn't want me to, or my husband didn't want me to. And it's about breaking down those barriers and doing what you want to do. So these are all the reasons that I decided to write the book.
No doubt. And you have your husband's support. I saw Melo came out to the
he came out to the book signing, which was dope. You know, when you're with somebody, you got to work as a team and support each other. You know, whenever I could get to his games, I'm there front and center. So I kind of expect the same thing in return.
Well, you should have had enough time to write this book over last season. We're going to talk about that later. You know, I'm a diehard Knicks fan, so I can talk my shit.
I see what you had on.
Let's get back into the music. Lala's here at Torae on Twitter, at Torae on the gram. Yours is
Lala, at Lala, all across the board.
There you go. Holla at us. We all up in here. Hip Hop Nation, commercial free hip hop hits period on the Woman Crush Wednesday. Your tour guide Torae. Lala is here.
Hey.
Lala got this new book out here, the Power Playbook. Now, to segue off the word power real quick, as the phenomenal actress that you are.
Thank you.
You do have a starring role on the Starz TV show Power.
I know.
Which is coming back
June 6th. So the
June
second
6th.
season is June 6th. It's right around the corner. But I thought that was so funny. Like, I'm on a show called Power, and then I wrote a book called The Power Playbook. But Power this season, it's crazy.
We need something. Lala. Talk to me. Tell me something.
It's just like every episode, you're like, nah, that couldn't have happened. That couldn't have just happened. It's like that every episode is cliffhangers and craziness going on. I mean, the creator, Courtney Kemp and 50, they really put their heads together on this one. And this one is something special.
Now, your character was a friend of Tasha's.
Right.
Do we see that role get even bigger this season?
The role definitely expands, you know, and now I'm trying to figure out what Ghost really does for a living and trying to get all in his mix. So, you know, I'm sniffing around where I don't belong. So some things start happening.
Yeah, Keisha's pretty much a busybody.
Yeah, exactly. She want to be in the mix so bad. So it's going to be an interesting season.
No doubt. How did you get the acting bug? You know, I remember the first time I saw you. Well, obviously you started in radio, like we were saying off the air, and then you were on MTV for a while, and then we saw you in movies and doing television. So how did you even get the acting bug?
Yeah, you know, when I moved to LA to be on the radio, that's when I caught it. I think when you're in LA, it's hard not to catch it. So, you know, at nights and stuff, I would be taking acting classes and things like that, but I never thought it was something I could really do. Like, I was like, you know, how do you do this? And then I started studying like the path to being an actress and what I needed to do, and I just started working really hard at it. I still work hard at it, and then the roles started coming. So I'm still working hard. You know, I'm nowhere near where I want to be in the acting space, but you know, I'm working hard and some great things are happening.
Absolutely. I mean, you're part of a great show, a bunch of dope movies under your belt. What was the joint?
Think Like a Man.
Think Like a Man.
Yes.
One of the 2 joints just came out. That was dope.
And then I just wrapped a movie with Lorenz Tate and Lance Gross called Deuces in LA. We just wrapped that like a week ago. So I love Lorenz. I mean, what girl doesn't love Lorenz Tate? So it was nice
to love Old Dog.
Of course. So it was nice to be working with him, and I'm excited for that to come out.
Crazy. Is it difficult, you know, getting into acting and really pursuing, especially with somebody who's already in the public eye?
Yeah.
You know, when you go on auditions, and obviously every audition isn't a yes.
Right. And no, by the way, more no than yes. I mean, I get heard no all the time, but it was hard for me, and I talk about it in the Power Playbook, because people want to put you in a box. It's like, okay, you're a radio personality, you can't do anything else. You're a TV personality, a host, you can't be an actress. And I'm like, well, why not? Just because that's how my career started doesn't mean that's where it's going to end, you know? So I have to break a lot of those barriers down. I talk about it in the book. So when I go into these rooms, I always feel like I have to be that much better than everybody else to even be recognized. Because first I got to shake off, oh, that's Lala who used to be on MTV and all this other things. Then, oh, wow, she's actually really good. And then, oh, we might want to hire her. So I have a lot of barriers. More hurdles that I have to get past. But nothing I complain about. I just put the work in.
We see some of that on your TV show. We're going to talk about Lala on the reality show. We're going to talk about this book and a whole lot more. Keep it right here. It's Hip Hop Nation. Your tour guide, Torae, commercial-free hip-hop hits, period. I have the lovely Lala Anthony joining the tour today.
Hey, everybody.
Lala, can we shift gears a little bit?
Of course.
I'm a die-hard Knicks fan.
I can see that with your hat on.
I'm a big Melo supporter. Been a Melo supporter since Syracuse. Die-hard Knicks fan. Now, I know sometimes my wife, she's a school teacher. Sometimes she has a hard day at work. She come home, she's slamming the groceries down on the table. She moving a little erratic. I'm like, baby, calm down. It's all right.
Right.
Obviously, one of the toughest seasons last year.
Very tough.
Melo just came from a whole free agency market where he could have went anywhere, decided to stick it out, stay here, bless his soul.
Right.
And we had a real tough season. How hard was that in the Anthony household?
It was hard. You know, it's hard when you see somebody you love going through that. But the great thing about Melo is, you know, he doesn't bring a lot of that stuff home with him. He knows home is where our son is and where I'm at, and he wants to get away from everything. He knows how to separate the two. And that's something I talk about in the book too, just how to not
need
bring...
to get the book, basically.
You gotta get the book. How
Don't
to
even
not bring
to me.
Work home with you. You know, what happens at work, leave it at work. Don't carry that with you the whole day. And he's been great at that. And not saying he doesn't have his moments where he's just, you know, really down. I mean, it happens, but he's working really hard. And I really do believe that the Knicks next season will be a different team.
Has to be.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
No doubt. And I see Melo doing a lot with Cayenne and you.
Yeah.
How difficult do you think it is for him having 2 parents who are hugely successful in the spotlight? You know, he's growing up. He's coming into his own. I see he does the modeling thing and all of that. Is that something that you want to see him get into? Or?
I want Cayenne to do whatever it is he wants to do. If he wants to do it, it's fine. But Cayenne is a little different from Melo and I. Cayenne's very shy, you know, and kind of to himself. So he's not like out there in that way. So sometimes, you know, it is hard having 2 parents wherever he goes, you know, people asking for pictures and autographs. But, you know, the thing is that he doesn't know it any other way. It's always been like that, and he gets it. And we always make sure he gets his time with us so he doesn't feel like he's sharing us with everybody. So we're mindful of that. And right now, his thing is basketball. He's playing basketball right now. He's on an AAU team and loving it. So that's what he's focusing on right now.
Another Anthony coming up.
Right.
How important is it to you to keep him grounded? You know, with both of you guys coming from, you know, neither one of you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
Right, at all.
So, you know, that make sure that he has that, you know, that grounding.
It's so important. Sometimes I'm like, I wonder if I'm being too hard on him, because I'm like, you know, no one owes you anything in life. Always say please. Always say thank you. You know, he's 8 years old, but it's important. Nobody wants to raise a brat. Nobody wants to raise a kid that just feels entitled all the time. Like, that's not cool, and that's definitely not what I'm trying to do. So, you know, I keep him as humble as I can.
Absolutely. Listen, this Hip Hop Nation. You're getting the ear full. Lala is here. Woman Crush Wednesdays. Holla at us. Let us know you tuned in. 87760. Hip Hop is the number. Tweet us. We all up in here, baby. That's new music from G Unit right there with your tour guide, Torae. G Unit, 50 Cent, who, you know, Lala works with on Power. We can't wait for that. Now, Lala, what are some of the misconceptions out there about you? Every time I see you, you're always really cool, humble. you know, I mean, super successful, beautiful. So I feel like people put this stigma on you. But I used to be out in the clubs. Like, I used to see you out, you know what I'm saying, in New York City. Then
quiet.
But you've always been, you know, you've always been cool, always very personable. What do you think some of the misconceptions are?
I think some of the misconceptions are kind of what you talked about, like, you know, that I've always had it this way, or that, you know, my life is just so perfect, because it's not that at all. You know, again, you know, I was born in Brooklyn. I was born, you know, my mom grew up in the Marcy projects. Like, we come from very humble beginnings. So this is just a blessing to be in this position now, and something that I don't take for granted. And as far as my life being perfect, it's not. You know, I deal with the same stuff that everybody else goes through, and I write about it, you know, so other people can read about it. But, you know, I'm just happy to be in the position I am now, and I don't take anything for granted. So it's cool that people do see that I'm down to earth and, you know, easily approachable. You know, those things are important to me.
Oh, don't run up though. Don't get hurt out here. Now, do you pay attention to the blogs, the websites, all of the stuff that's constantly being said?
I mean, I definitely pay attention to them from an entertainment perspective, looking at the pictures and stuff. I don't look at comments anymore. Like, you know, I just don't look at comments, because people are gonna always write some negative stuff, and I don't need to hear it. Like, you know, I'm happy, I'm in a good place. I don't want to hear somebody that I don't even know sitting behind a computer just trying to say a bunch of negative stuff. And I would advise that to everybody. Like, do you. Don't worry about what other people saying. If you feel good about yourself, your outfit, your hair that day, that's all that matters. Like, don't worry about what anybody else is saying.
If your eyebrows is on fleek, feel good about
it. Fleek.
No doubt. Now, Dice was here with you. I don't know.
Where is Dice?
I don't know.
Dice on a phone call. It looked like something's going on out there. She handling some business, or boo loving out there. Yeah, she's out there.
I did watch a lot of Full Court Life, Lala's Full Court Life. I'm hearing that there's no more
Full Court Life. You know, again, it's all about transitioning. So now that I'm transitioning into the acting, you know, it just doesn't make sense for me to do it. But I'm still producing, and I'm hoping to find a show for Dice and Poe, so they could continue to be on TV and like do another show, maybe spin off or do something like that. So, you know, again, it's all about transitioning, and it's different levels. So I did the reality thing. I felt like 5 seasons was a long time to give people, and now it's time to move on, you know, to the next phase of my career.
Is that important for you to put Dice and Poe in a position?
Of course. I mean, that's the most important thing to me, is to be able to help my family and friends. You know, you can't be in this position and not help the people that been there for you through everything. You gotta reach back and say, come on, I got some opportunities for you guys too. And I've always done that.
That's super dope. And how's your brother? We see your brother heavy.
He's good. Where do you see him, in a club? Right, he's good. Probably
keep it again off the record.
Probably bouncing around somewhere.
Now let's talk about this Power Playbook one more time before we get out here. It's out right now. If you had to sell it in a few words and tell people why they need to go out there and support it, what would you say?
I would definitely say everyone has it in them to be powerful in different ways. So get the book so you could learn how. And I want to shout out everybody in ATL if you're listening, because Friday night we're going to be at Barnes & Noble doing a book signing. I just had one yesterday in New York that was crazy. I was like overwhelmed by the amount of people that came. So we're doing it in the ATL on Friday. So I would love to see everybody there.
There you have it. Lala's here. The Power Playbook is out there right now. Listen, she's a New York Times best-selling author, so don't play yourself and not get the joint. We look forward to seeing you in Power. We look forward to seeing you in a bunch of other things. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Woman Crush Wednesdays, your tour guide, Torae, Lala, Anthony, y'all.
Thank you.